like, as you first asked at the top of the hour, psionics, at least the claim of it. The question you ask about, can you enhance? That is part of a discussion in the group, and I won't talk for other people who could talk it better than me. But it was from the very beginning, in my mind, once you localize a function in the caudate putamen that might be involved in the processing of information, if not the actual, let's say, antenna. I don't think the caudate putamen is the antenna. I think it's a processing function, and that the information is somehow, if it's real, impinged across the brain, and then it's coordinated in the caudate putamen, and that's actually what caudate putamen does with senses. It takes all your senses, incorporates them into a structure downstream of executive function that says, this is what I need to do. And then unconscious functions that say, react to that flash of light, or react to that leopard about to leap out of the bushes at me, in a subconscious way, processes it and says, here are the movements and things that you need to do relative to your emotional and memory state. That's for real. That's what the caudate putamen is involved with in what we call intuition. But as I was thinking about it, it became kind of obvious to me that if you needed to place a coordination of the information that might come as an additional sense, or a sense that we don't understand, it was still going to have to go through the same routing system. There's no need to evolve a whole new system if you've already got one in place onto which you can overlay the same kind of information. So that obviously, you just need to be paying attention to even lay literature, that there are ways that you can stimulate the brain from the outside, whether that's via drugs that change the nature of how nerve pulses operate. Things as drastic as DMT and LSD and the whole tryptamine family and beyond, to electromagnetic transcranial stimulation that's been around for a couple of decades now, and now ultrasonic stimulation of the brain in ways that don't fry the brain, but yet turn on or off various regions, and it's now known that you can do that. So it's an obvious next step to say, okay, well, if this part of the brain is involved in, let's say, claimed remote viewing or claimed psionic interaction with entities from beyond, why don't we try stimulating it and see if it gets any better or worse? But here's the problem. People might do that in their garage, and God knows what that does to people, right? You don't want to be messing around with your brain. You don't want to be the guinea pig. So again, stepping back and doing this in a formally scientific way, first of all, looking at the ethics of what you're doing, getting institutional review board approvals, which is the standard way that clinical trials are ever done on humans, where you basically say to a board of experts, ethics and whatever the relevant science is, say, how do you do this? Or this is our proposal. Do you see any holes in it? Do you see where we might get in trouble doing this? Like, for instance, you don't do it on children, as even with parental consent, because consent really means you understand. Consent doesn't mean that somebody let you do it. So you really have to understand what it is that you're doing and why you're doing it, and then you put it together in a way that the time and money and effort spent doing it is not wasted, so that you try to fill all the potential loopholes ahead of time and the mistakes you could have made, so that you don't waste anybody's time in the process of carrying it out. So yeah, I mean, and again, I now know of many groups trying this, and it's not just the people that I'm most immediately talking to, and that's exciting.